All right. Who is freaking ready for this? I was so excited for this call all day long. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steph Bollier, and I've been a coach with Team Beachbody now for just over 5 years. And I am joined tonight by a couple of other incredible women who I never ever would have met in a million years had it not been for a once in a lifetime trip that we took last month. So tonight you're going to be hearing from myself and two of the other leaders here, Brianna Mueller and Deanne Hansen. And the three of us are from such completely different walks of life, different areas of the globe. But we connected last month at something called a New Leader Conference. And this was a conference that we earned by building successful businesses, doing exactly what you guys are doing, rocking our babies and doing the mom life thing and balancing the jobs and wearing all the hats. And we came together, and when we met last month at this leadership conference, it was like light bulbs went off, and it was like instantly we connected because we are so passionate about very much of the same things. So I'm really excited to start us off today, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about sort of what we do, like what is a coach. And so our goal for tonight, our goal is for you to leave this information session and for you to know what a coach does, because for so many of us, and those of you listening on the recording, we see one aspect of what the coach does, and that might be in the form of a mentor, or maybe it's in a form of a bod group or a Facebook group or a challenge group or a fit club or whatever your person who invited you here does. But there is actually so much more that goes on behind the scenes, and so many great things that happen behind the scenes. And so our number one goal is for you to know kind of what a coach does. And then we also want you to know, what a lot of people have on the forefront of their mind. And that is, how do we earn money? How do we earn money doing this? I don't work for free. You don't work for free. And this is something that we're actually able to create an income while we create an impact. And that's a pretty awesome thing. And then the third thing we're going to cover today in our take home is what is the best way for you to get started on this coaching journey with us. And we hope that throughout the next 45 minutes, we will, let him go. There you go. Thank you. We're really hoping that you will see a part of yourself in our story. And these are always my favorite calls to host, because I have goosebumps right now, even like saying this, because as coaches, one of the things we do is we host a lot of different calls. We host mentorship calls, or challenge group calls, or leadership calls, or one-on-one calls. But these are always my favorite, because it forces us to go back to the beginning. It forces those of us who have been in this business for several years to remember what it felt like to be in your position, to be wanting something more and not knowing how to go about getting it. And so I want to kick this off by, number one, just like commending each and every one of you for being here on this call tonight, because you are being bold and you're taking action and you're being brave and you're showing up for something that might feel super foreign to you. It may feel kind of a little bit weird and sort of a little uncomfortable, and like, I don't really know what I'm getting into, but someone invited me, so I'm going to go check it out. And I just want to, first of all, give humongous kudos to you guys for showing up and taking in this information. And however it translates to your life, we hope that you leave this tonight feeling a little bit more connected to the coach that invited you here, because that person that invited you here for a reason. And that person saw something in you, saw some potential in you. And we think of this as almost like a reverse job interview, right? We're going to explain the business, and then you're going to decide if this feels like a good fit for you. And we really hope that by the end of this call, you understand more about what it takes to be a coach. And perhaps you can see one of the many ways that it could benefit your life. And so that's the first thing, is just congratulations for being here, for listening to the recording, for whatever it is, that step that you took to accepting information. And that's really, really a huge thing. So I wanted to thank you guys for doing that first. And a lot of you may have reservations. I did too. My gosh, I remember like it was yesterday when I first hit submit on my coach sign up. And I will never forget this day because it is like complete 180 from where I am now. I hit submit on my coach application because I had just gone through an incredible physical transformation. So to give you a bit of a backstory on how I came into this business, and Mackenzie's like pulling at my heartstrings right now because seeing her baby like brings me so right back. Like I got into this when I was a brand new twin mom. And so I actually had twins and an older son who was very young at the time as well. And so I had lost myself completely. I didn't even recognize the person who was in the mirror. Like I didn't even know who these little beings were that were crying all the time. And it was like, I didn't recognize myself. And so in that moment, and kind of they talk about the beauty and the breaking, right? Like it was a very big low for me, but my husband and I decided that I needed something that was going to be just for me. And I needed something that was going to be for me and not me, the mom, me, the person. And so it was in that decision that I was introduced to Beachbody. And I knew that leaving the house to go to a gym for 2 hours was not going to be an option with 3 kids under a year and a half. But I did also know that he could handle it. He could handle it for 30 minutes. If I came into this basement and just like needed 30 minutes to myself, I needed to lay on the couch and just like cry it out for 30 minutes. All right, maybe I just needed to. And these are all things I've done. Like I seriously legit did. I would turn on my aquarium channel. This is not a fish tank, it's my TV. I would turn on my aquarium channel and I would put spa music on. And maybe I would just like sit around and just, soak in the silence for 30 minutes. And that sort of translated to a progression where then I started working out. And then I really fell in love with the process. I fell in love with Beachbody and what it can offer moms like me. Moms like me who don't have the ability to leave the house, moms like me who don't have the income to spend on a gym membership or the, all of the things that come along with it. Not to mention, this was like right before the world decided to stop for 3 years and we weren't allowed out of our houses, right? I say 3 years because I'm anticipating, but anyhow. So when I dove into Beachbody, it really, and it sounds cliche and I don't even care, it really seriously saved not only my life, but it saved my sanity. It definitely saved my marriage for sure. And it helped me grow as a person in ways that I never would have done if I did not dive into this company and then subsequently this business. And so I tell you my story, not so you can be like, good for her, but I tell you my story because I want you to see a part of yourself in it. And I want you to see sort of that we've all sat where you are sitting. We've all felt the way that you are feeling. And so by prioritizing myself in those moments down here in this basement, I found myself. And by hitting that lowest low, I was able to rise to the best version of myself that I've ever been. And it has not been a linear process. It has not been straightforward. It has been full of ebbs and flows, but what has been consistent is that my business has been growing steadily through those ups and downs. And I think that's what's really cool about the coaching business is that you don't have to be or look or do or say or feel a certain thing to have an impact. You can be you and you can be authentic and you can be vulnerable and still have growth in your business. And so that's where I'm living, 5 years down the line is, while my weight loss has gone up and down and my, mindset has gone up and down, being consistent in the things that we will teach you to do as a coach has really helped me grow exponentially over the past 5 years. And now we're at the point where we're able to connect in, leadership conferences like the ones that we went to last month and all of these great opportunities that we will talk to you about in a few minutes. So maybe your goal in all of this is not to earn the trips or be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe your goal is not like mine to quit your job or to pay off your mortgage, but maybe your goal is more along the lines of treating yourself to pedicures once a month. And Deanne, that made me think of you today because she sent us a picture of her in a pedicure chair. Or maybe your goal is to just pay for your groceries every month or every week. Or maybe your goal is to make an extra car payment. Or maybe your goal is simply just to get your Shakeology paid for, or you're energized, because Lord knows we can't live without that. So whatever your goal for this business is, I want you to know that it is scalable. You can make this as big or as small as you want, and you can work as much or as little as you want. So while you may see parts of yourself in my story or Brianna's or Deanne's, just know that this is all so custom to you. But you're going to hear from myself and then two other amazing women who have big stinking goals, and we are going big freaking places. And the next place we're going is Punta Cana in like 33 days, but who's counting? So that's on another note. We are very trip and free swag driven. We realized we will do just about anything for a free shirt. And I see some of my coaches on here and they are all the same way. So anyways, we work really hard. Coaches work really hard, but the payoff is so worth it. The payoff can look like, thank you. The payoff can look like time freedom. It can look like financial freedom. It can look like living your healthiest, your happiest life. But it also, it's about being surrounded by like-minded people. And that's kind of the beauty in how we connected. And our goal is to explain what this business is so that you can decide if this is the right lifestyle for you. And so if we talk about what is coaching, and I'm going to throw it over to Deanne quite shortly here, but what is coaching? A coach is someone, I'm going to keep it super blank, like super straightforward and simple for you. I am not a fancy person. Coaching is a person. A coach is a person who is taking care of his or her own health and wellness and are inspiring other people to do the same. And that is such a broad blanket statement, but I find it sometimes helpful to talk about what a coach is not. Okay. Before I dive into that next topic, can we actually blow the chat up here a little bit and say who invited us and where we're from? Can you guys do that in the chat? I would really love to see where you guys are all from. I'm actually from Canada. I did not mention that. I am from Hamilton, which is about, 45 minutes south of Toronto. And Cassandra's so funny. I can see the chat coming now. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I see someone from Wisconsin, a couple other Canadians like myself, but coaching is a bunch of people from a bunch of different walks of life who are doing the same mission. And that is to live a healthy life yourself so that you can inspire other people to do the same. Lots of Canadians on here. That's great. So, and then who invited you? Who invited you to this information session? Brianna invited JD, and she's from South Dakota. Very cool. And wonderful. Awesome. Okay, great. I love it. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next one. And this is a bunch of us here. We did not obviously get everyone on the slide, but we are women from 3 different teams, 3 different parts of North America, but we all have come together tonight to kind of tell you our version of this story. So there's a few of us that are awesome people. All right. So it's time to disrupt. It's time to kind of disengage with what you thought you knew about Beachbody. And so what I want to sort of touch upon here is this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a quick fix to weight loss or healthy living. This is not a business of transactions. Like, we don't sell things. Like, yes, we sell, products, and we have products that we use to support our health and wellness, but we don't sell things, right? Our transactions don't end once the sale is complete. We're actually a business of transformations and not transactions, which is a really, really incredible business model, because it means that our job as coaches, it actually starts after the sale, which is a really unique perspective. And so this is not like any other direct sales company where you sell a product and you move on to the next person to sell a product to. This is actually a business of transforming lives. And we do that with the latest and the greatest in the health and wellness industry. This is not your mom's old, like Jane Fonda, Richard Simmons workout videos. This is cutting edge, always evolving, and constantly pushing the envelope on what health and fitness is. And so a couple of the things that we drew up on the screen here is BOD Interactive. It's brand new. This just launched a few months ago, and it has taken our fitness industry by storm. Now, not only do you press play on your workout, but you can press play on a live workout and get your face up on a screen where the trainer can actually interact with you. And it is the best feeling ever. It's totally my jam. I'm obsessed with it. We also have support for nutrition, though. This is not just workout. We know that being healthy and living healthy lifestyles is so much more than working out, right? And so Beachbody Nutrition and the Body Interactive platform are humongous assets in that regard. And so we also have new programs that launch all the time. This is not to do the same workout over and over and over. This is very much always evolving. And in a few weeks, we actually have something called the 4-week gut protocol, which is launching. And this is an anti-inflammatory sort of gut reset. It is not a diet, it is a lifestyle. It's an elimination, anti-inflammatory lifestyle where you're really going to pinpoint what the particular nutrition elements are that are contributing to certain people's gut sensitivities. And I know that I'm definitely someone who will be loving every aspect of that. It's time. It's long overdue in our industry. So first of all, I wanted to kind of disrupt some of those thoughts, right? We know people who have done direct sales. We all do. We're living in a time where we all know someone who's trying to sell something on Facebook or Instagram. And what's different about coaching is that it's about the transformations behind the sales and the lives that are changed. It's not about our bottom line in creating an income. It's about creating an impact. So I really wanted to kind of make that super clear. And we can talk more. I could talk till I was blue in the face about kind of like why it's different than other programs, but I want you to know that this is about lives being changed and not just your own financially. So then we're going to move on to who are coaches? Who are coaches? And I was sort of alluding to this earlier. I find it sometimes easier to talk about who coaches are not. Because I know when I was first thinking about starting a coaching business, I was like, yeah, but I can't do this. Like, I'm just a mom from Hamilton who, is going through hair loss and weight loss and all the other losses in life. And like, who am I to coach anybody? And so it took a lot of personal development and a lot of mindset work to sort of unlearn those habits and those knee-jerk reactions. So coaches are literally anybody. Like literally anybody can be a coach. You don't have to be a registered dietitian. You don't have to be a personal trainer. You don't have to be, creating the programs. You don't have to be creating the nutrition plans. You literally live your healthy life with the Beachbody vehicle. And then you inspire other people to do the same thing. So our number one priority in this business is our own health and wellness. And I am still on the lookout for other businesses where that is the number one goal. And I think that that's what makes Beachbody coaching so unique. And then the other thing is a coach is someone who's not going to use all the excuses, not going to use the fears or the limiting beliefs or but this can't work for me. But coaches are someone who's going to say, why not me, right? If these 3 girls can earn a trip to Vegas in the middle of a pandemic, why not me? If the people that I'm hearing from tonight are like people with no makeup on and like, yeah, I washed my hair, but I'm in PJs on the bottom. Like, why not me? And so a coach is someone who ditches all of those yeah buts and says, why not me? And then a coach is someone who just craves more. And we talk here about creating additional income and creating, craving community and sisterhood and craving recognition. Maybe you're working a job right now where like you bust your butt and you get a paycheck at the end of every week, but like you really are never celebrated. Like this business is so huge on celebration and camaraderie and collaboration that it's almost ridiculous. Like, and if you're someone who's maybe craving recognition and just like the incentives and like the ability to earn an income, but all the other perks as well, just for changing people's lives. Those are people who make great coaches. And most of all, the people who make the best coaches are those who are just looking for like a bigger purpose in life. And this is the part of my story where I tend to sometimes get a little bit emotional, because I hate thinking of it this way, but if my life ended, and I'm going to finish on this, if my life ended tomorrow, right, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I left an impact, right? That I changed other people's lives because I showed up and did my work every day. This work that matters, this work that, requires me to get out of my comfort zone on a daily basis. If something tragic were to happen to me, my family would know that I left an impact and that I created a legacy by helping other people. And that is kind of what gets me up every morning, and what keeps me pushing and keeps me going, because I want, and I know that some of you are really going to connect with this, I want to know that I left this world a better way than the way I came into it. And so with that being said, I'm going to pass things on to Deanne, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself and kind of what we do on a daily basis. But I want to leave you with, why not you? Why not you?
So good. So good. It's so true. Like, I tell myself that a lot. Like, if something were to happen to me, like, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I am making a difference, whether it's in one person's life or 20 people's. Like, it's an amazing feeling. So anyways, I'm Deanne Hansen. I'm from Wisconsin. So way from, well, I'm really not that far from Canada, but it's a little warmer here. But I am a mom to 2 boys. I am married to my high school sweetheart. We've been together for what feels like forever. I don't want to say how long I've been out of high school for, but it's been a long time. I actually, when I first started this business, was working full time as a dental hygienist. That was my dream job. I was like, I want to go to school for hygiene. That's what I'm going to do. I got my dream job and realized very quickly how burnt out it made me and how I was exhausted all the time. And honestly, how like catty the dental offices can be. And it put me in a really negative mindset. I remember coming home from work all the time and opening up the fridge or the freezer, putting whatever I could in the microwave to eat, and then eating it on the couch and laying there until I went to bed at night. I had no energy. I was exhausted all the time. And I just felt like I was doing the same thing every single day and never really getting anywhere. I actually was scrolling Facebook one day and I saw my coach on there, and it was like free 5-day clean eating group. And I was like, I could really use some clean eating tips. So I signed up for this group, and I'm like, I'm going to go all in for 5 days and see what could happen. Like, I can't even explain to you guys, like, the difference in the person I was from day 1 to day 5 is crazy. Like, the amount of energy I had, I felt so good. I was hooked just from eating clean for 5 days. And it wasn't like I was eating, 800 calories. I was eating good food for 5 days. And so she was like, talking to me about continuing and the workouts and those kind of things. I'm like, oh, I would really love to work out. I was actually like high school and college athlete. Like, I love athletics and sports and stuff. I wasn't always a huge fan of working out, but I love doing that kind of stuff. So I was like, sure, let's check it out. And then she talked to me about coaching, and she's like, you were just like really consistent in sharing in the group, and I think you could inspire others. And I was like, well, I don't really know if that's for me. I have my dream job over here, like, I'm cool with what I'm doing. And she's like, oh, well, you could get a discount. I was like, okay, sign me up. I like discounts. And so I signed up to take advantage of the discount. You get a great discount when you sign up as a coach. And I was like, you know what, if maybe I could inspire like my mom to start moving, or maybe my sister or my best friend, like whatever, like that would be cool too. But that was all I thought of this business. I never saw the big picture. Until I got pregnant with my first baby, and then I had to go back to work after maternity leave. And I was like, I don't want this. Like, I come home and I'm like exhausted, and I just was not happy. And I had, since starting this business, I've been a coach for 6.5 years. I don't think I said that, but since starting it, I had stayed consistent. I posted my stuff on social media. I talked to my friends about it, but I didn't really work the business. Like, we'll kind of teach you how we work our business. I didn't really work that consistently. But once I had a baby and I realized the potential that this business had, I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not me? Why can't I try this and see what could happen? So I started to realize that I could make money off of this. Like, I could actually make money by helping others, like by helping others feel the way I feel. Like, I loved working out at that point. I was obsessed with our workouts, talked about them all the time. I talked to everybody at work about them. I almost had everybody at work signed up already. Like, it was just so good. So, anyways, fast forward, I got to a point where I was able to leave hygiene to only part-time. I was able to quit full-time and go down to part-time. Then we got pregnant with our second baby. And after I had him, I quit my hygiene job and I now work full-time, part-time hours from home during this business. So I have my two kids at home. They're 2 and 4, so they are young. But I'm able to do this business in the cracks of my day, which we'll kind of go over that a little bit. But I've done this business in so many different points in my life. And no matter what my schedule was, you can fit this business in. It doesn't matter how many hours or you can do 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I mean, it is doable to fit it in. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story. So we'll talk about what do we do. So this is like the best part of our job. Like, your job is your journey. Like, you literally get to be the best version of you. That's your job. Do your workouts, drink your shake or whatever supplements you use that you like. I'm obsessed with Energize. Steph talks about that. Like, there literally is not a better thing on the planet Earth. I feel like it is so good. So you just do your journey. Like, you share your journey, you work out, you be the best version of you. I am a completely different person than I was 6 years ago. When we talked about personal development, when I first started as a coach, I laughed at my coach. I was like, why would I have to do personal development? What's wrong with me? But truly, it changed my life. And I don't sit there for hours a day, but it's like 10 minutes a day of personal development and growing who you are as a person. So what we do, your journey, it starts with you, and then inspire others to join you to do the same thing that you're doing. And you create an environment that is excited and positive. Like, when I talk about my fit clubs that I run, like, we are a fun group of ladies. Like, we love to work out, we love to share our recipes, and we truly want to make this a lifestyle. Like, I don't want people to come and join me and feel like they have to count calories or can't ever have treats like that. I am not about that. I want you to be able to join our group and learn a lifestyle from this. And I think that's why I love Beachbody so much, is because it's not a quick fix. We're not here to sell you something and walk away. Like Steph said, you start coaching once the transaction is through. Like, that's when you really are able to give all to your people. So, and then the last thing that we really do is we help our coaches help their people. It's kind of a ripple effect. Like, it's crazy to me how many people I've been able to reach just because I reached out to one person and then they reach out to people and they reach out to people, like that huge effect that we have, as we do this. Okay. So when do we work our business? Okay. So like I had said before, I have done this business in several different types of my lifestyle. So when I was working full time, I will say it was more of a hobby business for me at that time. Like I said, I stayed consistent in my workouts. I was posting on social media, but I wasn't doing everything perfectly every day, but I did it in pockets of time. So when I was working full time, I would work during my lunch hour. A lot of days actually would go out to my car and work in my car just so there wasn't the distraction of the lunchroom. But I would work then, and then I would work before I went to bed at night. I'm not a huge morning person, so it would be hard to get up in the morning at that point in my life. But yeah, that's when I would work when I did full time. Part-time, adjusted my hours a little bit. Now that I'm home with my kiddos, I do get up a little bit before they wake up. And my kids are early risers. We were on a Zoom this morning at 5:30. My little guy came down at 6 a.m. And that was pretty much sleeping in for him. So I get up a little bit early. I work at my son's nap time. And then if I have to do a little bit before bed, I do that as well. But I work I don't sit down and work a 6-hour stretch. You don't have to do that with this business. You truly get to decide how much you want to work and when you want to work it. And the amount that you work is dependent on your goals. So if you're somebody who just wants to earn money to have a pedicure once a month, we can tell you how much you're going to have to work for that. On average. If you're somebody who wants to pay off your cars, or somebody who wants to plan a Disney vacation, like, we can break that down for you on how to see that success. And then we also, as a team, like we had said, we're from 3 different teams, you guys. Like, we are all about collaboration when it comes to this business. So, I mean, either the person who invited you or the person that they know, like, there is always going to be resources for you to allow you to train and learn how to do this business better as well. So we're always learning and growing. Like, we are even 6 years in. And then where do we work? I believe that's my next slide. Where do we work? Really, anywhere. Okay. Like, truly, you guys, legit, you can do this anywhere. Car pickup line, when you're going to the bathroom, like when you're snuggling with your little guy, like there's what I love about it is you literally can do it from your phone. Like, that's all you need. I did not even like use my computer for work until like 2 years ago. Like, I did everything from my phone. And I think it's really cool to show that, because a lot of people are like, well, I can't do this because I don't have this, those excuses and stuff, but you just need a phone and a positive attitude. So that's what I love about this. Literally anywhere. Like, we actually leave for Florida on Saturday, and I still work my business when I'm on vacation because I love it that much. Not because like I have to, but because I love what I get to do. So I'll get up before the family gets up and work for 30 minutes, and then I can go and do whatever I want on my trip. So I absolutely love that. You can literally do this business anywhere. Okay. So the very fun topic of how do you earn an income? I think this is one that people are always curious about. I honestly don't love to spend a ton of time on it, because I do think earning an income is very important and it's awesome, but it's also like, the more people you help, the more money you'll make, which is, I think, like the cool way to look at it. So basically, I'll just go over this kind of quickly, but you order when you sell products, so like supplements and stuff like that. When we sell they're called total solution packs. Most likely you got signed up with one already, if you're a challenger with us already, or that's how you would sign up. But you earn commission off of that. So there's a picture on here. It shows an example. Like, our average challenge pack is usually around $160. And you earn $50 commission off that. Like, $50, you guys. I mean, that completely paid for my pedicure, like things like that. I think that, some people would just love an extra $100 a month. Like, wouldn't, if that could pay for your groceries, things like that. So, but again, if you see it on there, like you sell 5 challenge packs, and then you get bonuses, like that's just some of the commission side. So you can earn from commissions, you can earn some from subscriptions. So those are and the commission is anywhere from 25 to 40%, depending on if they're just doing supplements or like our Beachbody on demand subscriptions. But that's our base way of earning. And that is like the bottom platform. From there, you guys, the sky is the limit. So as you learn, and like we will dive right in and teach you guys these things, but basically, as you grow your business, the more people you help, the more people or coaches you help, like as the ripple effect, as I talked about, the more you'll build a team and you'll build volume. And we are able to earn these cycle bonuses off of our volume. And that's just residual income. That's just income coming in that you're not like, somebody's not purchasing anything in from you. That's just extra income coming in. And then as you continue to grow, there are certain levels in this business. And as you get to certain levels, you can qualify for quarterly bonuses. And then there's matching bonuses as well. So these are all just bonuses that Beachbody has literally for helping people. You help people, they help people. It's just that ripple effect, which I love. And then like I said, it's limitless. You literally can, if you want to make this a 6-figure business, you can make this a 6-figure business. If you want to make $500 extra a month, you can make $500 extra a month. It's truly your decision. As your coach, like we aren't here to tell you what goals you have to make and what income you have to make. You get to decide that. So you get to put the work in and you decide, what you want to make. I am just going to point out, we do have an income disclaimer down there. It's on the bottom. I only point that out because it's the truth. It just says that Beachbody doesn't guarantee you any income. It's all about your diligence and skill and the work that you put in. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Like you can't sign up tomorrow and earn $1,000. Like this business is truly about helping others and getting rewarded for doing that, which is pretty dang cool, if you know what I mean. So anyways, I know income can be, questionable. So if you guys have questions about that, you can throw that in the comments. I'm going to hand it over to Brianna though, and she will finish us off, and I can check those if you guys have any more questions.
I'm the one running it and I can't even find the unmute button. I'm Brianna. I am in a whole different walk of life than Steph and Deanne. I live in central South Dakota. I grew up in Minnesota. So my Canadian friends, I love it because you feel like my people. But I'm also close to Deanne, like in Wisconsin. And a little bit about myself is that I'm younger. I have 0 kids. The only child I have, well, I have 2 dog children. And so this tiny one is sleeping on the bed because he's a prince. But I have 2 dogs and they are my children and they are our entire lives. I'm married. I work in the agricultural industry. I'm an ag teacher, so I work full time. So different. I don't think Steph works part time, so it's kind of cool. You get to see 3 levels here, right? Deanne works full-time Beachbody coach. Steph kind of does, half-time at a job and then Beachbody, and then I work full-time. I'm an FFA advisor and ag teacher, so I work a lot of hours. I got started with coaching 3 years ago. My 3-year anniversary is coming up next month. And I was sitting in my house. My husband and I just moved out to the middle of nowhere. I am 6.5 hours from my family, but the job was good for my husband. So we moved out here and we knew no one. I knew no one. We moved to a town of 400 people. And I am someone for my entire life have struggled with mental health issues. So I medicated for that a long time, went to a lot of therapy, all that. And I hit rock bottom when we moved out here. I was student teaching. And if anyone is a teacher, knows a teacher, it is emotionally draining. I hated every minute of it. I would come home and I'd bawl and be like, I don't want to teach. I just wasted the last 4 years of my life going to college for this, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Then I was watching a friend's story, and it's kind of funny because she never said anything about Beachbody at all. Like she was just posting her workouts. And so I messaged her because I actually did Beachbody when I was in college, but didn't have a coach that checked in on me. So I quit because I didn't have that accountability. And so that's a pillar of mine. But I just was like, okay, I need something. Like I am rock bottom. I don't know what else I can do. But I would come home and binge watch Netflix and like quite literally bawl on my couch until I fell asleep. And then my husband would come home from work. My husband's job is very demanding. And at this point he was working probably 80 to 90 hours a week just because of what his job is. And so I would just bawl by myself. And we had no dogs at this point. I really think my life would have been better if I had dogs, but I'm glad I didn't because it led me to Beachbody. And I did it for 7 days. And I said, okay, so how do I sign up as a coach? Because I had the mindset from the beginning of why not me? Like I see these coaches, I followed a lot of Beachbody coaches. I'm like, I can do that. Like if they're doing it, why can't I do that? And so then that's kind of where I got started and I just ran with it. I went to Summit, which is our national conference. I went to Summit in July. So like a lot of new people are scared to go to Summit, but it literally changed everything because seeing this opportunity was something way more amazing than I ever understood. I was the person, 100% disclosure, I made fun of Beachbody coaches. I thought they were stupid. I thought I hated that they boasted about their workouts and I'd literally be like, look at her in her cute little swimsuit on the beaches. And I was the mean girl about it because I was so insecure myself that I was at, right, the whole they belittle people because they don't feel good about themselves. I was the epitome of that. I also just want to touch on how us 3 met because it's, I think, a really funny story is that Deanne posted in our like Facebook group for New Leader Conference and is like, I'm landing at this time. Does anyone want to get an Uber together to the hotel? And I like commented and I was like, yeah, I land at the same time. And then, oh my God, it was like a stalker moment. Like, she's like, wait, are you flying out of Minneapolis? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, and then I said, I'm the one with the ugly camo suitcase because I'm like rocking a camo suitcase from middle school when I thought I was cool. And so we found each other in the Minneapolis airport. We're on the same flight and that's how we met. And then we just stuck together the whole time. And then actually Steph, we were outside for the first opening session and Steph was like standing by herself and I was like standing by myself. And we were just like awkwardly like glancing at each other. And then I just like went over there and I was like, hi, I'm all by myself. Are you by yourself? Because this is weird. And so then that's how we became friends. And then we were like inseparable the whole time. So, anyways, that was a long story. But this, I don't dive too deep into it because I could cry, and I literally wanted to cry looking at these pictures of us. Like this is one with us and Jennifer Jacobs, and we were front row. If you want to see a picture of me bawling, I can share that later. But literally, this business makes me so emotional because, as Steph said, it saved me, saved her. It saved me literally. I have struggled with mental health for a long time, and I believe that like I can't guarantee that I would be here if it wasn't for this business, because it changed everything in my mind, my soul, my body, everything. Okay, so how do you become a coach? So there's a few things. So number one, you're going to want to speak to your coach about the best option, because some of you on here maybe already have Beachbody, or maybe your Beachbody On Demand's renewing soon, or maybe you don't have Beachbody at all. So it's important for you to talk to your coach, because we know the best way to get you set up that's worth your money and the best bang for your buck, because we are all deal people here, and we want you to get the most. The other thing about being a coach, like Dan talked about, is what hooked a lot of us is the 25% discount. Because I'm gonna hop on the train, Energize addict right here. Like I cannot live. I drink Energize more than any other beverage, which is also probably not like the best for my system, but I'm addicted. And so it's nice to get that discount, because my husband, when I signed up, he said, there is no way in hell you are spending that kind of money on Shakeology every month. Like it is not happening. Like that's ridiculous. It is a stupid shake. And now I'm like, it's not a stupid shake. But right, that discount really is important to a lot of us because we like saving money. Number three, people ask, like, when you're a coach, what do you pay for each month? Because obviously a lot of sales companies have like a monthly fee, and ours is $16. If you are in a military family, so a military spouse or in the military, you can get that waived. And if any of you are in North Dakota, you can get that waived. I don't know the laws why North Dakota doesn't have to pay the coach fee, but they do, or they don't. So that's pretty neat. But it's really worth it. So some things this fee pays for is community service, customer service. That's the one. And honestly, our customer service is the best. I have never brought a problem to them and they're like, can't really fix this. Like they're always on top of it. Perfect, right? You as a coach, you don't have to worry when someone's like, I don't really like this Shakeology flavor. Like, can you get rid of it for me? Like, they do the exchanges, they do returns, they do all of that good stuff. And it also pays for, right, all the shipping. We don't touch physical product, right? If I have someone who gets an auto shipment of Energize, I don't get the Energize and send it to them, right? Comes straight from the warehouse in Beachbody, right? So we don't have to worry about shipping. We don't have to worry about customer service. It helps keep our websites running, our coach offices, all that. And so when you're at NLC and you meet all these people from corporate, you're like, wow, like I pay $16 a month to have access to all of these people. Like that is crazy, because they are the best human beings and are so helpful. And then 4, you can start earning immediately, because, well, you can, no matter what, promo code or not, you could immediately earn. But we talked about that $50 that you get for each challenge pack. So if you found 3 friends to join you this week, this month, before the end of the month, you would right there already have made your investment back, which you can't say about a lot of things, because I like being busy. I work a full-time job. I'm a Beachbody coach. I also own my own boutique. You're sitting in my headquarters. But I have poured thousands of dollars of inventory into that. Like I've never had to do that with Beachbody. Like I paid a coach fee to get started, because I didn't sign up with a total solution pack. Now I know better. But like any other brick and mortar business or any other like online business, right? Like you have to pour money into it before you can even make a return. Where here we're telling you, if you get to work, and if you notice the trend, all of us have talked about the work it takes. Okay. You can make your investment back really fast. And so the promo code makes it even better, because $20 off. And when you tell people like me, right, I'm the person that it's like, I need to add $30 more to not pay $5 in shipping. Oh, you got me, right? Like that's me. So the promo code is a really great thing. Okay. So why become a coach now? This is my favorite picture from NLC, because this was us to a T, the best thing ever. this was actually right when the Packers lost, and Deanne was so mad, so mad. Deanne was watching the Packers game live in the playoffs, and it was hilarious. And so why become a coach right now? For you, here's the deal. All of us, if you're on this call, it's because you care about human beings. And I'm going to be very straight up with you, is that caring for other human beings is quite exhausting. Like it is. And we can get so lost in doing that for other people. And you're like, wait, you're kind of like, we're here to help people, but you're telling me not, like, but hear me out, right? This creates an identity for you. It creates accountability for you, right? Like, I don't think I'd still be working out if I wasn't a coach. Like 100% being a coach makes me show up for my workouts every day, makes me do the things I do, the professional development, all of that, because I want to show other people what's possible. I want to show my team what's possible, my challengers. So as much as my challengers think that like I'm keeping them accountable, they're keeping me accountable. And the thing is for you, like you deserve, right? Like, I think a lot of us don't like pampering ourselves. We don't like recognizing ourselves. We don't like spending money on ourselves. Like we think, you know, our kids, our husband, our houses, like so many things deserve that stuff more than we do. And we sacrifice for everyone. But this is kind of something for you, right? Something for you to do. And to create something outside of like, maybe you feel like you're just a mom. Like when I was student teaching, I felt like the only thing that defined me was being a wife and being a teacher. And those were the only two things I had in my life. Number two is for them. So I talked about, I don't have kids. I have 2 dog kids, but I don't have kids, but I work this business every single day for my future kids, because I want to be like these moms that are able to have the flexibility to be home, the moms that are able to, I always see Steph takes her girls to gymnastics and they like go to McDonald's afterwards and it's so fun. But like, I think of like being an ag teacher, and if you've been around, education's kind of topsy-turvy right now, right? Who knows what's going to happen? I did not come into this business being like, I want to quit my job. But I've definitely seen the potential, because I don't want to cater to everyone else's kids all day long and then come home and not have the time of day for my own. I also think of for my family, there is no way, if you know my husband, there's no way on God's green earth we would ever pay for a tropical vacation, because my husband's definition of vacay is going to pick up farm equipment. Like anytime he suggests we go anywhere, I have to ask him what he bought on Craigslist, because that's the only time he suggests to go somewhere. And so it is just a way for our family to provide income, to provide, and I think of like my mental health, right? I think all of us can say, you've heard us, we were exhausted. We were running around with chickens with our heads cut off, and we just knew there was more to life than like going to work, coming home, making dinner, sitting on the couch watching TV, and like going to bed and doing it all over again. Like I felt like I was in a never ending loop, and I literally was like, this sucks. Like adulthood sucks. And now like I love my life, right? Are there days that are harder than others? Yes, but I'm a better person for my family because I have such a positive attitude. And number 3, you've heard us say this a lot. Like, why not? Like, why would you not give this a chance? Because there's really nothing negative. Okay, you're out the $15. Guys, I spend $15. Like I probably lose $15 out of my purse when I walk in a parking lot. Like just because I forget to zip my purse. That's my personal problem, right? But how many things have I bought for $15 that like added no value to my life, where this like simply being a coach and following the habits of the personal development, following the habits of the workouts and the eating well, like that directly is going to pay off in your life. So like, why not? There's really not a downside to this. And you never know what is possible for you. Anything. Like all of us, I think we had big goals of like, we want to do these things. But when we were sitting in Vegas, it was so surreal, because it's things you see on Instagram and things you see in movies and things you see on social media, but it's nothing you ever see yourself picture. Like you don't picture yourself doing it. So my thing is like, why not? Why not you? Like, instead of saying like, well, maybe I shouldn't, I challenge you tonight to think of like, why not you? Because all of us, like, there is nothing special about us. Nothing. Like, to be honest, we are normal, very normal human beings who decided that we wanted more out of life, and we were going to take and create that. And we were going to show up, right? There are a lot of people who sign up as coaches and they'll never go to Vegas. They'll never make the income they want, but it's because we show up and we are willing to put ourselves out there. that we have made something incredible. So I want to end with this is what if it worked? Because we talked about this a little bit. So instead of all the what ifs, I've been on a trend this week, like, right, we say, what if I fail? What if I, what if someone makes fun of me? Oh my gosh, what if Brianna mocks my Snapchat or my stories like she used to Beachbody coaches? Like, what if? And this quote from Brene Brown is so encompassing of what we've talked about tonight. Courage has a ripple effect. So every time we choose courage, we make everyone around us a little better and the world a little braver. And our world could stand to be a little kinder and braver because we are leading from the front. We are leading our society that needs this more than ever. Right. And so I want to challenge you to, like, how can you show courage tonight? Okay. One way you can show courage is that if you have felt like during this call, like, man, this is like the nudge, right? Like the nudge of like, okay, I think this is what I need to be doing. I need to give it a shot, right? Because why not? Like, what's the worst thing that happens? Like, you're not going to get like struck down by lightning. I'm trying to think like what the worst possible thing could happen. Like, you post a story. I always have like a scared thing that I'm going to have like a piece of underwear on my floor when I post a story or something. And then like people are going to see that. I'm like, okay, so that's the worst thing that happens to me. Like, whatever. So if you are willing to be brave tonight, I really encourage you. So we're going to wrap this up. And if you're brave tonight, one, I need you to reach out to your coach, especially if you're watching the recording, because we're not going to know like if you're at this point, if you watch the recording, but if you are ready, if you are feeling courageous tonight and you're like, man, I just need to go for it, and they spoke to me, I want you to stay on the call tonight. And we're going to get you set up right now, right here, so that you can run straight into our coach mentorship group and we can get you going right away. So I encourage you, if you are a coach who's listening in, or if you're someone who you just, this doesn't seem like your thing, that's totally okay. And I want to say thank you for listening. And I hope you have a great evening. Feel free to hop off. But if you're ready to be courageous and sign up, we would love if you'd hop on the call. I'm going to end the recording and the sharing, and we can chat about options to get you set up. So thanks everyone for coming.